Hey, welcome back, guys, to Founding Champions. This is Scott here, and together we are the 5th Grand Alliance. Don't forget. Now, as you've seen by the title of this video, it is about why I believe Destruction is the #1 enemy deck to beat. Now, I also believe that Playfusion has done this on purpose, and I'm going to go into why I believe that. So, as you can tell, a lot of people wanted to vent their frustration on Facebook about destruction. Destruction's good, it's beating people, it's really easy to build, really easy to play, blah blah blah. The list of complaints go on. The first deck to win any constructed tournament in this game so far was a destruction deck, piloted by me, so I know destruction, and the cards are good on face value. And so without further ado, let's go over why destruction is public enemy #1 and why I believe Playfusion did this on purpose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with a little bit of just a little intro on some of the cards that I have on the screen that you see here. So there are a lot of cards that do things that other factions can't do. So other factions have a real hard time gaining additional actions. Well, destruction, that is their core mechanic, is gaining additional actions. There's 2 units that do this. You have the Wall Chanter, and then you have the Pouncing Wolf Rider. Here's the Pouncing Wolf Rider right here. Wall Chanter is going to be in the W's further down. So, well, okay, what's the issue? Well, the issue is that you're able to just pump out more stuff. Now, if I was to have all these additional actions and say something like order, I could only play so many units. I can only play so many spells. But because there's so much stacking in this deck, I can keep playing dudes on top of dudes. So first, we're going to start off with Warboss Recruiter. Draw 1 card face up. If it's an orc unit, you may deploy it onto this champion. Okay. Now the issue with this card, why it's one of the best champions, is okay, so everyone thinks that, not everyone, there's a good chunk of people that really believe that Celestant Prime is an amazing card, but then there's a lot of people who are like, well, Celestant Prime's too overcosted, it's expensive, we can't fit it in the deck. Well, Warboss Recruiter, it gains you 1 health, only costs 5. You're drawing a card. Granted, you can't choose, of 2 cards to pick one and put one at the bottom. You just get whatever you get. However, if it's an orc unit, you can deploy it. Now, what makes this good even more is that stacking, there's a lot of stacking orcs. So you can just keep playing dudes on top of dudes, rotating the quest objectives on this card. Stacking is a unique mechanic. Mostly, let's see, it's in death and it's in destruction. I don't believe that it's in chaos or order. So with that said, being able to stack units, not having to wait for them to go away, automatically puts you 1 turn ahead, because you get to that last corner, that's their effect, and then they don't just go away, you have to wait for them to then rotate out. So they get to the last corner, you get their effect, you immediately put a guy on top, and now it's doing stuff again, and it's rotating even faster, rotating the quests even faster. His clunky quests are a little harder to use, but you get 3 guys, the first one does damage, you get another orc, and then you play another dude, and you use Deadly Chop, and he rotates. Okay, I'm able to just continuously push stuff onto the field in destruction, and especially with these extra additional actions, I can have the actions to do so. Let's just go from bottom to top. Sweeping Gorgrunta, killing up to 3 dudes, and then having the Wall Call or the champion to rotate him twice, or the Mega Boss that rotates everybody to their last corner. So being able to do that on demand is something that other decks can't do. Order has sweepers, but they're just not this effective and this quick. Okay, Wall Call, already went through that. Surprising Skulkers makes it hard for your guys to get killed. Smash and Bash is like a mini that Riptooth Mega Boss, not Riptooth Mega Boss, but the guy that rotates everyone twice. Savage Boar Boss, really good, just puts them 1 turn ahead. So again, we're powering out our deck. Trampling Grunta goes immediately to the 2, and their units and spells are dormant. With the Pouncing Wolf Rider, you immediately get your action back because it goes from X to 1, so you can get that additional action back. Rallying Cry, you get to play twice as many dudes off of 1 action. It is taking the cost of the card out of your hand. But think about this again. Warboss Recruiter, draw a card. Oh, it's not a unit. Well, maybe if you draw Rallying Cry, boom, use Rallying Cry, get 2 guys on, you power 2 guys out. Riptooth Mega Boss, easiest guy to rotate. Play a dude. Next turn the dude does damage. Play any ability, and the turn after that, that same dude does more damage. Boom, you know. More additional actions here. The Pouncing Wolf Rider I was talking about. Orc Shield Bashers. A lot of people don't like to use this card. I use that in my Gen Con deck list. Outstanding card. Reducing damage while pushing out so much damage is very powerful. The 2 damaging spells here, or let me, they're not spells, they're abilities. I play a lot of card games, so mix things up. But Mob Rule, Mosh Pit, doing up to 5 damage. Obviously the rare is better because it's going to do that base 3, and then can do 4. While Mob Rule, it's either 2 or 5. Orc Scrappers does a lot of damage again. Hit the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, gains additional actions if you use them right. Let's see. Here we go. Loudmouth Mega Boss. Just power things out, and you see that where the combo is with Loudmouth Mega Boss, and right here, Sweeping Gore Grunta. So other decks doesn't have that. They don't have that raw power that just able to just pump things out and just get your guys dead. You know, other decks just can't do that. Let's see. Grand Ambitious is an outstanding card. With that last boar that costs 2. Let's see. Deadly Chop, you kill a guy and they take damage. And we're the only one with a removal spell where they take straight up damage, unconditional. Cowardly Grots, this is the combo if you want to use with the other champion that's powering this guy here, Gordrak. You have the Gordrak combo. Basically, you play this guy and then you use Gordrak, and then it goes all the damage. In the app, it's not doing damage on this top left corner, but it is doing damage here. If you damage your opponent, increases by 1 per support, so it should do damage here, but in the app it's not showing that. Now we did have a bunch of updates, so at the time of watching this, I could be wrong. If you take 1 more damage from a highlighted enemy, exhaust this unit. Well, they're never going to get a chance because you're going to power this out. So it's what, 3, 4, then 5 damage. Okay, so that's a lot of damage. So we're going 9, 10, 11, 12. We're talking about 12 damage just off this one guy. And here's another card, Big Stab Crew. Straight up do 7 to somebody with Loudmouth Mega Boss. And of course, you could do that with Gordrak if you wanted to. But it's only once with Gordrak. Well, Loudmouth Mega Boss can keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And again, here's another easy rotator guy. Play an Orc unit. That Orc unit does damage. Play any ability. And then, boom, stacking. Rotate them. Don't even have to wait for that Orc to go out of play. Just straight up play it. And that's something that other decks have a hard time doing. Now for a little bit of controversy. I'm going to go to this next screen here. Right here. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions Organized Play. So, I almost sound kind of crazy, but I'm going to let you be the judge of this. If you read this page when it first came out, it didn't read the same way. This first paragraph was not here. You're like, okay. It says, whether your allegiance lies with the begleaming legions of Sigmar descending from Azir to dispense justice, or the haunting dead, or dread, and twist punishments suffered by the Night Hunt, it is now time to heed the call of competition. So you're like, well, okay, so what does that mean? Well, that wasn't there when this first came out. It said something different. It said along the lines of the Orc just swarm, stuff like this. And, I can't paraphrase it too exact because I read it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's, there's just more Orc stuff. They made Orcs sound like Public Enemy #1, and that's one of the reasons why I believe that Playfusion did this on purpose. So I just explained to you why destruction is just public enemy number one. It just does things other people can't do, and it's sort of unfair. Now I'm going to why Playfusion's making it number one. And so they changed this. So they made it seem now Legions of Sigmar descending from Azir, that's order, or the haunting dread and twisted punishment suffered by the Night Hunt, so that's dead. They have no mention of chaos or destruction. Now this paragraph was just about destruction. It was about basically coming together and defeating destruction. And that's not what it says. They completely changed the wording of this paragraph. Now guys, if maybe that paragraph is still written, it's somewhere and I couldn't find it, put a link, tell me, hey Scott, you're wrong, put it in there, show me where the paragraph currently is. If you have a snapshot or a screenshot of this, okay, so it's, internet autistic time. I know someone's out there's got it. Post it on a comment, show everybody what it says, because this is very strange for them to want to change, a flavor text, this flavor text paragraph. It's so weird. So it makes them look like they're hiding something. It's just very strange that they would do that. Of course, it's up to you to believe whether or not I'm reporting this accurately. It's up to you to see if this is true or not. Now, does it make a difference if it's true or not? I guess technically it doesn't. But it's just another piece of evidence of why I believe Playfusion made orcs public enemy number one. Now, reason number two why I believe Playfusion made orcs public enemy number one is that they knew they wanted the beatdown deck. Okay, they wanted the simple, easy to build beatdown deck, and that's what orcs are. They're just sort of simple, easy beatdown deck kind of guys. Now, did they need to take it up that notch? Don't you think they would have seen this in playtesting? Oh, this it's such a basic deck. It's not like this oopsie accidental combo that now this deck's broken, or it's such an easy thing to see. You think they would have seen this, and well, the reason is they did see it, but they're doing it on purpose. They want players that are weaker in the game, weaker in terms of skill and such like that, to be able to beat players that are doing fancy, cute combo type stuff in the game. They want to be able to put a deck in somebody's hands and then be like, oh yeah, this deck's pretty good, and this guy really not know much about what's going on. So they wanted an easy to play but good deck. Now it becomes a very strategic powerhouse of a deck when you put it in the hands of a very good player and a very good deck builder. So you can see the disadvantage that other factions might have. Also, it creates a lot of fun to have a public enemy number one, for people to build and develop decks to beat that. And someone's gonna win a tournament at some point. It's gonna be a very anti-destruction sort of deck, and they're gonna go through the tournament, defeat all these destruction players. You're gonna see like 5 of the 8 people in the top 8 be destruction, and one of the guys that's not is himself, and he's gonna go through and mop them all up. And he's gonna be like, well, it's pretty easy to me, but because he found the deck that did that, and it's gonna everyone's gonna lose their mind. So that's the whole point. It creates a lot of fun and excitement to have that sort of deck to beat, and everyone's trying to beat it. So that's so I just went over why I believe destruction is the number one deck. Number two, why Playfusion did it on purpose. So guys, my next video is going to be the deck that defeats orcs, and the first one is going to be order, and I'm going to go through the other grand alliances with destruction beating itself in the last one. Hopefully the app is live by then. If it is, I'm going to use the app. I'm going to put a recording on the app, and then we're going to use that once NDA goes away. If not, then I'll just do it by paper. I'll bring out the paper cards, and I'll show everybody by hand with the overarching camera, basically the deck and why it will beat destruction. Now I'll put some results on there, some personal results and stuff like that, so that way you can try the deck out for yourself to see if you like it. And you say, Scott, oh, I don't think this deck's going to be destruction. I think it does beat destruction. Depends on you. These decks are a higher skill cap, so you're going to have to sort of learn the niche in that deck. So guys, thank you for watching.